born for sports. Week 4 in the NFL. The New York Giants coming off an impressive win against the Cleveland Browns, looking on a short week to get some momentum going into week 5 by getting a big win against the Dallas Cowboys. Before we start, I just ask that you like and subscribe to the channel. And for those who are new to this channel and kind of checking things out, I think you're going to like what you hear. Just keep rocking with me. Dallas Cowboys. I mean, what else is there to be said? One of our biggest rivals, a team that we keep struggling to beat every single year. It is time to start beating teams like the Dallas Cowboys. And we got a real vulnerable Dallas Cowboy team, if I may say so myself, coming off a tough loss to the Ravens last week. You know, that Cowboys defense is very vulnerable. They're ranked 28th right now after 3 weeks, getting run over a lot. I think they're giving up about 186 rushing yards per game. Now, the Giants are going to have a big test this week. You know, they got some injuries as well. Today's injury report looks like we're going to be without a lot of our secondary players. Dory Jackson looks like he won't be able to go. And our big-time rookie slot corner, which is the big loss, Andrew Phillips, looks like he's not going to be able to make the game. That's a big loss. That's a big loss for our defense this week, especially considering we're facing CeeDee Lamb, who the Dallas Cowboys love to get the ball to at all times, especially in the slot. They move him around a lot, but they really have success with him in the slot. So that's going to be a tough one to deal with this week. But it's time for the Giants to make a statement, okay? No matter what, it's time to make a statement. It's time to start beating these teams like consistently again, like the Dallas Cowboys, like the Philadelphia Eagles. They got to start doing it. It's a divisional game. We're 1-2 coming off a big win. It's time to make a statement. It's a short week, but you know what? They got to play 2 on a short week, Dallas, and they come into MetLife. So I got keys to the game that I think for the Giants to get a win. And it's not going to be easy, like I said, but they're going to have to band together. They're going to have to suck it up and say, hey, let's get it done, because MetLife Stadium is going to be a good crowd. We already know there's always a mixture of Cowboy fans as well as Giant fans when these two teams play each other, whether it's in Dallas or at MetLife. We know the Cowboy fans, most of the bandwagoners, they travel well. So it'll be a scene Thursday night. So my keys to the game. Number 5 I got is we got to win the turnover battle and protect the ball. Now, we definitely have to win the turnover battle for a lot of reasons. Number 1, we are not the type of team that can overcome 2-3 turnovers a game at this point of our season and think we can just go out there and find ways to win the game. And, you know, the Cowboys are a team that is better when they have to play from behind. When they have to play from behind and Dak has to drop back and he's got to survey the field and he knows they're coming, you have more success, tend to have more success. You know what I'm saying? So the Giants are going to have to win the turnover battle. They cannot turn the ball over against this team. It's been a big bugaboo every time we play the Dallas Cowboys the last few years. We lose the turnover battle, and when we do that, we lose big. You know, it's a situation where they have to play mistake-free football and maybe try forcing some turnovers if possible. But most importantly, we got to protect the ball, man. The last 2 weeks, Devin Singletary, I'm gonna need you to hold on to that rock, okay? All right. You had a big fumble in the week 2 game against the Washington Commanders, cost us points on that drive, and then last week you fumbled again during that game. It didn't cost us the game, but it was a big part in the game when it happened, and it was points off the board that got taken away when the Giants were moving the ball crazy. And on top of that, it spooked our coach. Brian Dable started calling conservative plays after that play, I thought. Too conservative at that point after that play happened. But bottom line, protect the ball. We all know Daniel Jones needs to keep doing what he's doing. Protect the ball. He hasn't turned the ball over the last 2 weeks. He almost had one last week that was called back, so he's got to be more careful, you know, with those kind of boneheaded mistakes and just protect the ball. So that's my number 5 key. Number 4 key is we got to win time of possession and run the ball, which is what goes back to my point about Singletary. You can't run the ball if you're going to give the ball up. So we hold on to the rock, win time of possession, keep that Dallas Cowboy offense off the field instead of dominating time of possession, where if we get down too many points and the Giants have to play from behind, I don't like that kind of a game for us, especially at this time of the season. We got big injuries again, as I mentioned earlier, in our secondary, dealing with this high-powered passing attacks. One thing Dallas Cowboys do well is they pass the ball. They got a lot of passing yards. I believe they lead the league in passing yards the first 3 weeks of the season. Some of that is because they had to play from behind, though. So it's a give and take there. But we got to win time of possession, man, which means take advantage of this 28th ranked rush defense that the Cowboys are having right now, that they're struggling. I'm sorry, 28th overall defense, but struggling against the run. They have been bad against the run. The Ravens ran them over last week. The week before, they gave up a lot of rushing yards. This is a game I think we need to get Singletary in this running game going, and we got to protect that ball, of course. Number 3, pressure Dak. Let's go hunt. This defense is, with all the problems we had the first 2 weeks, now all of a sudden, don't look now, but the last 2 weeks that we dialed the pressure up, this front seven had a really good game last week against the run, but I thought, especially exceptional against the pass, they had 8 sacks last week as a team last week. That's the most sacks the Giants have had since 2016. This is a game they have to pressure Dak. They got to make him uncomfortable, move him off his spots. They got to go hunt. Don't look now, but the Giants are second in the league in sacks with 14 in the first 3 weeks. So we got to continue to pressure the ball. Bowen can't play conservative with that back off and let's run to the ball and play soft zones. We got to continue to go with what's working. It worked last week. We got 8 sacks with the pressure packages we had, moving guys around, rotating Azeez in. We got to keep that going. And hopefully, if we do that, we'll make Dak uncomfortable and stop some drives, get off the field more often than not. My number 2 key is the Andrew Thomas and Illuminor have to win at point of attack, obviously, have to win against Michael Parsons and Lawrence. We got to keep DJ clean because we all know over the years they have beaten on our quarterbacks with the pass rush. Our offensive line was terrible the last couple of years, especially last year. 85 sacks says it all. We all know Lawrence is always a pain in our side over the years. But Michael Parsons, he's a special pass rusher. He's a special player, And there was a little talk last year when Andrew Thomas kind of played hurt in that last game we played the Cowboys in Dallas when Andrew Thomas clearly wasn't himself and, Parsons got the best of him. Over the years, Andrew Thomas has been pretty solid when he has to block Michael Parsons. That's why they move Parsons around a lot. So we're going to have our guys, our big guys, take care of business, man. And at right tackle, that's not Evan Neal. That's Illuminor. This offensive line has been gelling very well the first 3 weeks. They have been a very good addition to the team with the free agents and everything and the strong team play. So we got to continue and keep DJ clean so he can operate the offense on time. And my number 1 key is we have to score touchdowns when in the red zone. Every opportunity, we got to score touchdowns. We can't be kicking field goals. We can't be stalling on drive, and we can't be missing field goals either. We got to score touchdowns. Against this team, the Dallas Cowboys have a high-powered offense. They're a quick strike offense. They could strike at any moment. Their running game is okay, but their passing offense is really good. And like I said, with the secondary issues of injuries we're dealing with this week on a short week, we got to make sure that when we have our opportunities, we score touchdowns. We have to, because the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to come to play. They're going to be a desperate team. They've lost 2 straight games. We're both tied at 1-2. This is a game the Giants need badly as they do, as the Dallas Cowboys do. So my final prediction is I got the Giants beating them 23-21, man. I do. I feel like we riding the momentum of this game. When I made my prediction, I wasn't sure that we were not going to have Adoree and Phillips playing. It looks like they won't be able to play. But I think with the struggles of the Cowboys defense, 28th overall, bad against the run, averaging 185 yards rushing against the run. They have not done well again. I think this is a game the Giants can score points. They just have to make sure they stay on time and don't turn the ball over, and they'll have a chance to win. I got the Giants winning 23-21, and that's how I feel about it. This is a big game for the Giants. They got to go out there. They got to hit them in the mouth, man. They got to keep this momentum going. If they can do that, they can finally go out there and take care of business against this hated rivalry. I am tired of losing to the Cowboys. It is time. It is time to take care of business and beat the Dallas Cowboys. Like and subscribe to Born for Sports. Out. Let's go.